Assalamu alaikum class. My name is Dr. Ikram Mushtaq. Today the topic of our tutorial is water. In water we will study its journal introduction and about its sources. Water is responsible for much of the ill health which affects the humanity, especially in the developing countries. There can be no state of positive health and well-being without the safe water. Water is not only a vital environmental factor to all forms of life, but it also has a great role to play in the socio-economic development of human population. Every country should develop its own water resource agency, which would collect all the data on water resources exploitation, right? In 1981, the 34th World Health Assembly in resolution emphasized that safe drinking water is a basic element of primary health care, which is a key to health for all by 2000 year. Most recently millennium developmental goals, they included the safe water and sanitation in the attainable goals. Water is integrated with other primary healthcare components because it is an essential part of the health education, food and nutrition, also the MCH part, that is maternal child health care. Now, what is the safe and wholesome water? Water intended for human consumption, it should be safe and wholesome. This has been defined as the water that is free from pathogenic agents, free from harmful chemical substances, pleasant to the taste, that is free from color and odor, usable for domestic purposes. Water is said to be polluted or contaminated when it does not fulfill the above criteria, right? Okay, the basic physiological requirement for drinking water have been estimated at about 2 liters per day. This is just for the survival. But from the standpoint of public health and improvement of the quality of the life, water should be provided in adequate volume. The consumption of water, however, depends upon climate conditions, standard of living and habits of people. Daily supply of 150 to 200 liters per capita is considered an adequate supply. Uses of water in a community, there are many, and the requirement in quantity and quality are varied. It has been convenient and economical to provide a single water supply sufficient in quantity to serve all uses and suitable in quality to meet drinking requirements, even though only a small fraction of the total water supply is actually used for drinking. The uses of water includes domestic use. On domestic front, water is required for drinking, cooking, washing, bathing, flushing of toilets, gardening, etc. And in for public purposes, cleaning streets, recreational purposes like swimming pools, public fountains, and ornamental ponds, public parks, and for industrial purpose, for processing and cooling, and for agriculture purpose, irrigation, for as a power production from hydropower and steam power, carrying away waste from all manner of establishment and institutions. Water is therefore an essential factor in economic, social, and cultural development of a community. It can eliminate diseases, promote rural development, and improve the quality of life. Okay, regarding sources of the water supply, water may be abstracted from use, abstracted for use from any of the number of points in its movement through the hydrological cycle. The safe yield of the source must be sufficient to serve the population expected at the end of the design period. The safe yield is generally defined as the yield that is adequate for 95% of the year. The selection of a source requires professional advice. In general, water sources must conform to two criteria, right? The quantity must be sufficient to meet the present and future requirement. The quality of water, it must be acceptable. On the basis of this criteria, there are three main sources of the water: rain, surface water, groundwater. Surface water includes impounding reservoirs, rivers and streams, tanks, ponds and lakes. Groundwater contains shallow water, deep wells and rain is the prime source of all water. A part of rain water sinks into the ground to form a groundwater. Part of it evaporates back into the atmosphere, and some runs off to form streams and rivers which flow ultimately into the sea. Some of the water in the soil it is taken up by the plants and is evaporated in turn by leaves. These events they are spoken of as water cycle. What are the characteristics of rainwater? It is purest water in nature. Physically, it's clear, bright, and sparkling. Chemically, it is very soft water containing only traces of dissolved solids. Being soft, it has a corrosive action on lead pipes. Bacteriologically, rainwater from the clean district is free from pathogenic agents. Rainwater tends to become impure as it passes through the atmosphere. It it picks up the suspended impurities from the atmosphere such as soot and microorganisms and gases such as carbon dioxide, nitrogen, oxygen and ammonia. Surface water originates from rainwater. It is the main source of water supply in many years. Example of the surface water includes river, tanks, lakes, man-made reservoirs, sea water. Surface water is prone to contamination from human and animal sources. As such, it is never safe for human consumption unless subjected to some sanitary protection. And obviously purification, sanitary protection and purification before use. Many rivers they furnish a dependable supply of water. The chief drawback of the river water is that it is always grossly polluted and is quite unfit for drinking without treatment. River water is turbid during the rainy season. It may be clear in other season, but clarity is of no guarantee that the river water is safe for drinking. River water contains dissolved and suspended impurities of all kinds. Certain amount of self-purification does occur in river water by natural forces of purification such as dilution, sedimentation, oxidation, sunlight, plant and animal life, but these agencies are not sufficient to render the water potable. Okay, tanks are large excavation in which surface water is stored. They are an important source of water supply. Tanks are recipient of contamination of all sorts. They are full of silt and colloidal matter, especially immediately after the rain. The older tanks, they may be full of organic vegetation. Tanks are often used for washing of the clothes, cattle, human, cooking pots. So they are subjected to unlimited possibilities of contamination and are highly dangerous as source of drinking water even at the best of times. But unfortunately, it is the tank water is drunk without being boiled, responsible for an number of cases of sickness and death. How we can improve the tanks? The edges of a tank should be elevated in order to prevent the entry of the surface washings. There should be a fence around the tank to prevent access to animal. No one should be permitted to get into the tank directly. There should be an elevated platform from where people can draw the water. The weeds should be periodically removed. Tank should be clean at the end of the dry season. It is believed that the simplest solution consists of subjecting the tank water into some sort of sand filtration. It's also one of the steps of improvement of the tank. Rainwater percolating into ground constitutes the groundwater. Water used by human comes mainly from land. It is now realized that there is a limit to groundwater in the world. We should withdraw only quantities of water that can be renewed. The advantages of groundwater are: it is likely to be free from pathogenic agents. It usually require no treatment. The supply is likely to be certain even during dry season. It is less subject to contamination than surface. Its disadvantages are: it is high in mineral content, for example salt of calcium and magnesium, which render the water hard. It requires pumping or some management to lift the water. Wells are an important source of water supply. Even today, they are an important source of water supply in many communities. Technically, wells are of two kinds: shallow and deep. Shallow wells tap the subsoil water layer, that is, the water from above the first impervious layer in the ground. They yield limited quantities of water, and the water is notoriously liable to pollution unless care is taken in well construction. Deep wells Deep well is one which taps water from the water bearing stratum below the first impervious layer in the ground. Deep wells are usually machine dug and maybe several hundred meters deep. Deep wells furnish the safest water and are often the most satisfactory source of water supply. Okay, one thing which I forgot in the previous slide is artesian wells. Artesian wells are kind of deep wells in which the water rises above the level of the groundwater because it is held under pressure between two impervious strata. And what is another term which I have forgotten to put a light on it is the saline intrusion. Saline intrusion is that near the sea there is a danger of infiltration of seawater into the deep wells. This gives a brackish taste to water and may make the water unfit for domestic use. Wells, they can be classified according to the method of construction into dug wells and tube wells. Dug wells are by far the commonest in developing countries. Two types of dug wells exist in our rural areas: unlinked kacha well and the masonry well. Right? Okay. The picture which is placed over here in the next slide is the sanitary well. The sanitary well is the one which is properly located, well constructed and protected against the contamination with a view to yield a supply of water. First of all, the first step in the well construction is the choosing of a proper site, right? If bacterial contamination is to be avoided, the well should be located not less than 50 feet from the likely source of contamination. Okay. Regarding the lining of the well should be built of bricks, as you can see, or stones set in cement up to the depth of at least 6 meters or 20 feet, so that water enters from the bottom and not from the side of the well. There should be a parapet wall up to the height of at least 70 to 75 centimeter or 20 inches above the ground. Platform, there should be a cement concrete platform round the well in all the directions. The platform should have gentle slope outward towards a drain built. Regarding the drain, as you can see, there should be a drain to carry off spilled water to a public drain. The top of the well, it should be closed by a cement concrete cover because the bulk of the pollution is introduced into the well directly through the open top. Open wells therefore cannot be considered free. The well should be equipped with a hand pump for lifting the water in a sanitary manner. The physical, chemical and the bacteriological quality of the water should conform to the acceptable standard of quality of safe and wholesome waters. Okay, regarding the springs, when groundwater comes to the surface and flows freely under the natural pressure, it is called a spring. Springs may be of two types: shallow springs and deep springs. Shallow springs dry up quickly during the summer months, whereas deep springs do not show seasonal fluctuations in the flow of water. In some geographical areas, springs constitute an important source of water. Springs are simpler to exploit as no pumping is needed to bring the water to the surface. Springs are exposed to contamination. well built protective structures are necessary to safeguard water quality. Thank you so much. That's all for the today's tutorial. If you have any question, you can ask. Thank you.